in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, Jnanakarma Sannyasa Yoga, 35th verse.
यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतान्यशेषेण द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मनि यतो मयि
यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम् एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव येन भूतानि अशेषेण द्रक्ष्यसि आत्मनि यतो मयि. Translation: experiencing which, O Pandava, you will not have this confusion once again, for you will discern that all life forms with no exception are in your own self as they are in me. It is such a pleasure to have knowledge bomb every morning. I don't know about you guys, I am having it. Such pleasant space in the morning. I wake up and take bath slowly in my own way. My way of taking bath is I need to have water in a huge tub, almost like what you need for an elephant. No, really, I cannot take bath with less quantity water, 2 bucket, 3 bucket, no. I can live without food, but this cleaning is a big ritual for me. And still I do all the rituals, achamanim, everything, and then only I'll take bath. As prescribed by Manu. Manu says that 7 times you have to wash after you finish your motion. So 7 times I'll use soap. I'll count. Sometime if I am in a hurry, at least 7 times I'll touch. And then my taking bath is like a... If you have seen the deity of Amritakateshwara, he will be sitting with 2 big vessels and pouring on his head. That's the way I'll take bath. Means the whole body will become cool. Now I have one more thing added. Puja. In this Madurai Adinam tradition, I have to perform Shiva Puja every morning. What puja I will perform? The moment I sit, already in Samadhi. But I have my own way. I'll put little vibhuti and little kumkum, little sandal and little water and flower, all that, and it will take 2 hours for me. Because if by the time I put kumkum, I'll fall into Samadhi. Then again settle down and pour little water. Anyhow, after all that, I come and sit here. It's like in pure inner space, a bomb, knowledge bomb. This is what exactly I want even you guys to experience. Morning, have enema so that stomach is clean. Take bath, come with a fresh inner space and do the Guru Puja. Then this energy bomb, the experience, knowledge bomb falls on you. If your stomach is clean, this verse can directly become experience in you. Please understand. Bhagavan says, O Partha, Pandava, again and again you lose the experience of the ultimate, the remembrance of the ultimate truth. Do not miss that. Have some experience which will remind you to experience the ultimate truth always. See, what is ultimate truth here? Bhagavan says very clearly, all life forms are part of your own self. That is the ultimate truth. Bhagavan says, you forget again and again this truth because of confusion. Here, Bhagavan is using word moham. Na aham is naham, ma aham is moham. You surrendering yourself is naham, namaha, naham. You being destroyed is moham, ma aham, moham. If a horse comes and sits at your feet and obeys your command, it is naham, na aham, surrendering. You just throw a bomb at a horse and it dies and falls. That is moham, ma aham. The key word in this verse is moham, ma aham. Bhagavan says, all life forms are part of you. This is the ultimate truth. But you again and again forget this truth because of moham. Moham word should not be understood as a lust or greed. Please understand. Lust or greed is only the bomb. That is not moham. Moham means destroying yourself, the confusion. Bhagavan says, the moham, the confusion, takes away this truth. All life forms are part of you. It is being taken away from you again and again. Punah punaha. He says, get into some experience which will not take away that ultimate from you again and again. It's a very subtle subject. Please listen intensely, step by step. First, all life forms are part of me. This is the truth. Now, once you understand that, sometime you feel, yes, if you take a handful of clay, if this is clay, if I understand this clay, if I know this clay thoroughly, then I know all the clay on the planet Earth thoroughly. Please understand. If I take a handful of clay and understand it thoroughly, then I know all the clay on the planet Earth. Same way, you are life. When you know you are living, you are life, then all life forms on the planet Earth is you. It is part of you. All the clay and the clay in your hand is not too different. All the life and the life in your body is not too different. You feel, almost I am understanding, but not. I think I understand, but not. For these understandings, you need to have two things. One, the stomach, clean stomach, and the throat with ghee. If you pour little ghee in your throat, the ghee in the throat awakens subtle parts of the brain. Still in Ramakrishna Math, morning, before the teacher starts the class, there will be a whole day classes, the Shastra classes, Patanjali and all other Shastra classes. Before entering into the class, they'll give the ghee in the spoon. You'll have to have the ghee in your throat and sit for the Shastra. I asked, why this tradition? It started by Sri Ramakrishna. It was given to Sri Ramakrishna by Totaburi. It's directly from Naga Sampradaya. The pure cow ghee, ghee made out of cow milk, you have to pour it in your throat, at least a spoon. If the ghee is in your throat and the stomach is clean, the subtle truths you will understand. If the ghee is in your throat, you won't fall asleep. Try. Try to have a spoon of ghee in early morning when you sit for satsang. You will never fall asleep. It's from Naga Sampradaya. It was given to Ramakrishna by Totabri, and Ramakrishna has given to all his disciples. Stomach should be clean and ghee should be in the throat. Then you will catch all these subtle truths. Anyhow, today you may not have that, but understand the truth at least. You do accept many times all life forms are part of me. I am part of the all life forms. But the problem is, when you make serious decisions in your life, this truth is forgotten. You don't make decision based on this truth. Why? The ma aham, confusion. The cognizance you take about the problem becomes more powerful than the ultimate solution you carry in your inner space. Please understand. All of you have thousands of ultimate solutions. Love, compassion, joy, part of life. I am part of life and life is part of me. All this, all of you have it. But when a problem comes, when you are expected to make decision, when you need to take cognizance about some issue, about some problem, the cognizance of the problem looks powerful in you than the cognizance of the ultimate solution, spiritual truth. I tell you, please understand, I am breaking one of the important myth. The power of problem in your inner space and the power of solution in your inner space. Ultimate solution in your inner space. If the power of ultimate solution is more, you are a Jivan Mukta. The power of problem is more, you are bound soul. Now you need to know a very important truth. The power of problem can never be reduced. The power of solution can never be increased by mental practices. It is simply your hormonal space. Please understand. All I am trying to tell is, by keeping your stomach clean, you will become enlightened. You don't need any other practice. You do not need big pranayamas, kumbhakas, puja, yoga, work, karma yoga. No. It is a simple truth. The power of solution feels smaller than power of the problem just because of your stomach, your body's sickness. It has nothing to do with your mind. I tell you, you might have practiced controlling anger and lust for 35 years. If your stomach is upset, a little bit of food which does not suit your stomach is enough. All your 35-year practice is in the air. You will be screaming. You will be shouting. Whole thing boils down. The key word moha boils down to body's hormonal situation, body's chemical space. Balancing your body's chemical, establishing yourself in the ultimate understanding again and again and again is alchemy. I tell you, just keep the stomach clean. When I say clean, I don't mean empty. I am not saying don't eat and all that. if you do not have digestion problem, if you do not have constipation, if you are sitting with a, Ramakrishna says, keep your head and stomach always cool, because both are connected. See now, I am telling you from my experience. Morning I came and sat in the seat. My whole stomach is clean. Such beautiful inner space, because just now I finished my puja. I am coming and sitting. This verse feels like a balm on me. Means such a strong impact this one line has created in me. But I can see so many of you unfortunately sitting. He says we have to believe, okay. The verse, I am giving you the clear meaning. It doesn't create a explosion in you. I want you to know the explosion happening in me and the explosion not happening in you, there is no mental practice needed for this. That is what I want you to understand. Do not say, oh, Swamiji has practiced and he became enlightened, that is why it is causing explosion in him. I am not, that is why it is not causing. No. It just needs chemical balance. Nothing else. And you may say, no, he is talking just to encourage us. No. Meenakshi Sundareshwara is witness. Keeping him as a witness, I promise, what I am saying is truth. It just needs a chemical balance, nothing else. Your body needs to be clean, nothing else. This verse will create the same shocking explosion in you, how it creates in me. Now I can tell you, this shock which I had, shock is not the right word, the explosion which I had now, when I read this verse, it will stay with me in my body at least for next 3 days. I will be there in that bhava continuously. This can happen in you without any mental, spiritual discipline or practice. Just by the right body. Means keeping your body clean. If your stomach is relaxed, you don't have much load and constipation on the stomach, and you are sitting, a cool feeling in the body, that is enough. This verse can cause the same explosion in your body, because this does not need any mental, spiritual practices. Understand? There are different truths. There are some truths you need a heavy spiritual practice to understand it. For example, this is a matter. This can be dismantled and teleported and assembled somewhere. To master this truth, you need a heavy practice, mental practice, pranayama practice. But I am not teaching you that now. Same way, there are some truths which I said yesterday. The attitude of imbibing. There is no end to practice those truths. It's like even though I have mastered pranayama, still I continue to breathe. Even though I mastered the science of eating, I can live without food for any number of days. When my disciples can live without food for 27 days, why can't me? But I continue to eat. When I can. And same way, When I mastered the science of breath, even though I mastered the science of breath, I continue to breathe. Even though I mastered the science of eating, I continue to eat. Same way, even though I mastered the science of imbibing, I continue to practice it. There are some truths, even after mastering, you continue to practice. But there are some truths, once you master, you can't practice. Unclutching. I can't practice unclutching. Once you master it, you can't practice. You stay in it. Unclutching. Ajapa japa. All this, once you master, you can't practice. But feeling connection, even after you master, it goes on growing. You can't practice, but it goes on growing. There are some truths which needs heavy practice. There are some truths, once you master, you don't need to practice and you can't practice. There are some truths, even after you master, you will continue to practice. There are some truths for which you don't need any practice, just a balanced body. It is just a knack. You need to keep the body clean and keep it there when the truth is told to you. This truth, the truth, all life forms are part of you, which Bhagavan says, does not need any spiritual practice prior to the experience and post-experience. Please understand. Prior to experience and post-experience, you do not need any practice for this truth. It needs clean stomach, that's all. In Vedanta, there are some truths you don't need any practice. Just clean body. Same way, there are some truths. If your body is in utter sickness, that truth will work out. That is death experience. If you are in a complete chaos, the truth about the death, the moment it is told, it will become experience in you. That is what has happened to Ramana Maharshi in Madurai. He was actually sick. It has happened just in the same street. The South Tower street is there. We are in Tirkavani Moolavidi. Go to the South Tower and the straight, that street, I request and recommend all the devotees to go and have darshan of that place and come back. It's a small house. Bhagavan was sick for 2.5 days. Third day morning only this experience happened. He had a fever and slowly that fever has started developing and entered kind of a terrible confused fear. The child was terrorized. Maybe he was not able to communicate his fever to others, or nobody was able to understand. He was terrorized inside. Fever may be small thing on if the doctor says and he gives medicine and you see any progress. If you don't know about medicine, if you are not given knowledge or confidence, fever can terrorize your inner space. Bhagavan felt terrorized inside. What is happening? I don't know. In that mood, when a small suggestion about death came, it became experience. That is why even now in Buddhist monasteries, when somebody falls sick, they will use even that atmosphere, ambience, space to give enlightenment to that person. In Zen monasteries, if you fall sick, they will give you medicine, but whole day, 2-3 monks will sit next to you and remind you about the many sacred sentiments. Many sacred secrets, they'll remind you. Because during the sickness, there are some sacred secrets will click with your body. Even in Dhyanapidam, I want this tradition to start. If somebody is sick and lying down, they should be constantly listening to the different sacred secrets I revealed in many different verses in Shiva Sutras or in Bhagavad Gita or Yoga Sutra. These three are the backbone of Hindu tradition. How to experience this truth and not to lose the experience of this truth. Bhagavan says, moha, confusion is the reason why you lose this truth. Please understand, moha is not related to mind, it is related to body. Moha is not related to mind, it is related to body. Moha, kama, krodha, all the three are physical experience, not mental experience. Jealousy, attention need, ego, all three are mental experience, not physical experience. Please understand. Moha, kama, krodha, even bhaya. The lower three chakras are physical experience. To conquer the lower three chakras, you need to prepare the body, not mind. But unfortunately, you try to constantly prepare the mind and fail. The top three, attention need, jealousy and ego. For this, you need to prepare mind, because they are mental experiences. But the lust, fear and confusion, means worrying, these three are physical experiences. You just need to keep your stomach clean and light. Nothing else. You just need to carry your body gracefully. Nothing else. Where you hold your body, please understand, you always hold your body in Swadhisthana. That is why constant tensed feeling in Swadhisthana. Don't hold the body in Swadhisthana. Walk with the legs, not from Swadhisthana. While you walk, feel you are putting the foot on the ground. But now, you are holding your Swadhisthana and pushing the body. For example, the bullock cart. The spot where the bullock and the cart is connected, that is the spot the whole tension falls. When the bullock pulls the cart, the spot where the cart is first experiencing the pull, that spot, we can call it the touch spot, the spot where the touch happens. The transmission of pulling power happens. Same way, Swadhisthana is the spot where the transmission of the touch between your will and the body happens. Don't do that. Walk with the legs, talk with mouth, work with hands. Stop using Swadhisthana. Let the pressure be on the parts of the body which is functioning. How to do it? When you walk, remember you are using only your legs to walk. When you work, remember you are using only your hands to work. Just few days of remembrance is enough. Don't make this again as a mental practice. No. It is a physical thing. Even remembering that you are walking, you need to do mentally. See how sick human beings have become. It's very unfortunate. Moha can be dispelled only by training the body, not the mind. Mind can never be out of moha. Mind can never be out of roha. Mind can never be out of soha by itself. It is only the body which needs to keep the mind out of roha, moha and soha. It is so unfortunate the Vedantis have forgotten the body, preparing the body, and they go on beating the mind till the end and die in depression. And it is so unfortunate. Siddhantis have forgotten body and mind and both. Even the mental struggle is stopped in course of time. It has all ended in who receives Purnakumbha, who gives Purnakumbha, who is respected and who is old. The other day there was a criticization. Somebody was criticizing about me. He self-styled, started 10 years before. We are the oldest. Of course, now their criticism holds no more value because now I am representing the oldest Hindu religious organization. That's different. But I also wanted them to understand what do we mean by oldest. In Zen tradition, there's a beautiful example. One enlightened master was sitting. One monk who was the head of the old monastery, who is the inheritor of the oldest monastic tradition, a pontiff of an old monastery comes to this enlightened master, and this master is sitting and drinking cup of tea. This pontiff comes and says, "Do you know, I am the pontiff of this monastery, oldest Buddhist monastery." The Zen master did not speak. Usually they don't speak. He finished his cup of tea and poured the water, washed that cup and poured it in another cup and emptied that cup, poured little more water in that cup, washed it and poured it another one cup and emptied that cup, poured little more water in that cup, washed it and poured in another one cup and gave it to this pontiff and said, "Please drink this tea." Pontiff was shocked. He said, "What do you mean?" Master said, "An experienced person drinks original cup of tea. Pontiff drinks the washed water." Truth. What is there? My ancestors, my predecessor had a cup of tea. What is there in that? Fool, you have the cup of tea. And very strangely and rarely, impossibly, now both are meeting in one body. I don't know what is going to happen. Unfortunately, these Siddhanta monasteries have been reduced to who is old, whose teacup is old. Older the teacup, tea smell reduces. Vedantis fight with mind and forget the body. Siddhant is fight with others, forget the body and mind both. This is where the fate of Siddhanta and Vedanta I tell you, work on your body. These great truths you should imbibe by working on your body. Early morning, if you do yoga and then take bath in cold water, come and sit and do the Guru Puja, listen to these great truths, straight away it settles down in your inner space. Yoga simply happens in your inner space. Vedantic experience simply happens in your inner space. You need just prepared body, nothing else. Now, sit for a few minutes. Don't work on your body, don't work on your mind. Leave both to me. Don't unclutch. Don't try to do any technique. Don't even try to feel the presence of Meenakshi Sundareshwara. Don't even try to feel my presence. Just sit. Drop your body, drop your mind. Let me do what I need to do. Let me do what I have to do. Let me do my homework. You just sit.
Paramahamsa Nithyananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nithyananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers. an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters, India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nithyananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment.
Vande Papa Vinashaktam Nityanandaya Swagatam Nityamuktam Nirvikalpam Dhyana Pradipakam Vande Shantamayam Bandham Nityanandaya Swagatam Ananda Gandha Sancharam Sarvopadhi Vinirmuktam Vande Jnanalayam Natham Nityanandaya Swagatam.
Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bangalore 562109. Contact 097422033311. www.nithyananda.org. www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.